Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, I wanted to talk about something that has been playing on my mind ever since the cover art of The World Ends With You Neo came out. Some of you guys probably already know what I'm going to be talking about, but before we get into this video, I just want to put out a little disclaimer because I know that when people were talking about this quite a few months back, there was a little bit of discourse between the Kingdom Hearts fanbase and the World Ends With You fanbase, and I know that this discourse has sort of been going on since the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 with the reveal that Sora obviously ends up in Tokyo, Japan, Shibuya, with the whole theory being that, holy shit, is Sora in, like, the Shibuya, the World Ends With You Shibuya, connecting the dots from Dream Drop Distance, where, of course, Neku says to Sora in Traverse Town at the end of the Traverse Town story in that game, see ya in Shibuya one day, yada 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 yada. We were obviously all thinking, alright, holy shit, this could be a possibility here. What I'm talking about in the way of the discourse was there was sort of some headbutting going on between the KH and TWEWY fanbase, where, like, the TWEWY fanbase was saying, oh, can you guys leave this fucking franchise alone? It's got nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts, and the crazy Kingdom Hearts fans are like coming on like, no, but it's a possibility, Jeremy. Jeremy's clapping back saying, don't let this Disney bullshit ever touch my game. It's not touching my game. It ain't a possibility. It's not happening. What, are Kingdom Hearts fans crazy? Yes. Yes, we are. Have you only just realized this? Anyway, what I want to say towards that real quick before we start talking about this is, dude, at the end of the day, I love both fan bases. I like TWEWY, I like Kingdom Hearts, obviously. If people want to speculate and theorize about something, god damn it, let them. Know this, if people are talking about certain different things towards theories or speculation, hear this, right? This is amazing. The sun still rises the next day. I don't see how people theorizing and speculating about something is going to ruin your day. Just keep scrolling, bro. Anyway, I had to quickly melt down about that because, like, when I was reading into all of this nonsense that was going on at the start of the year, I was losing brain cells. So yeah, the topic of today's video is talking about the whole The World Ends With You connection to that of Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts' future, now that, of course, Sora has found himself in Quadratum, Tokyo, Shibuya. This has been a running theory since the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. We still don't know that much about Quadratum, but what we do know is it will serve as a very important world going forward. We've received more information about this mysterious, unreality, alternate dimension through, of course, Melody of Memory and recently the Union Cross finale, but still information towards which is very minuscule. The thing that's been playing on my mind, though, specifically when thinking about the TWEWY connection, is specifically the cover art for Neo The World Ends With You. Now, I understand that this can be considered reaching to a degree, and that it's most likely just an artistic choice, a design style. However, though, whenever Tetsuya Nomura is involved, you've always got to get the 5D brain thinking. This man is always playing 5D chess with his video games, as we all know, and he loves cryptic shit. Like, honestly, Tetsuya Nomura loves cryptic shit. We should all know this by now. If we look at the coloration of the sky for the Kingdom Hearts 3 box art, the main colors in the sky here are a light blue, a dark blue, as well as a yellow. We've also got a little bit of purple in the mix as well. The uncanny thing is this pretty much exact same coloration of sky can also be seen in the Neo The World Ends With You box art. Though the placement of colors is slightly different, it is the exact same palette here. We have the light blue to the left, the darker blue in the middle, and the sort of yellowy type orangey color to the right with a little bit of purple mixed in. Now, what I more so believe for the Neo The World Ends With You box art in the sense of the coloration is it's more so representing day and night cycle. So the lighter blue to represent that of daytime, the darker blue to represent that of nighttime, and the yellowy orangey most likely to represent sunrise or morning. But uncanny nonetheless because of the fact that it really is the exact same color palette. Now, how exactly a Kingdom Hearts connection would be infused into Neo The World Ends With You, I don't know. And I also do believe that to be honest, if there is some kind of connection between the two games, I don't think we would end up seeing it literally in a World Ends With You game. It's obviously going to happen in Kingdom Hearts itself, though there has been a theory that's floated around for quite some time, ever since Dream Drop Distance, where some people have considered the possibility of TWEWY actually being a companion game to that of Kingdom Hearts. I know TWEWY fans are probably screaming internally as of right now. I'm so sorry. But an example that I could probably give you is Nier and Drakengard. These games are companion games. The situation with Nier and Drakengard is a little bit different because they are technically in the same universe as a whole. There is like a multiverse in the lore of Drakengard and Nier. So when looking at that specifically, like they're in their own universes, but in the sense of the overall video game sphere, they're in the same universe, if that makes sense. The world of Nier spawned through Drakengard. Even though Nier could be considered its own franchise as a sort, technically it is part of the Drakengard franchise. I like the idea of that, honestly. I know most people probably won't, but it's a very Nomura type thing to do. I think even if Kingdom Hearts and The World Ends With You, we got to a point where we found out they were companion games, they would still remain in their respective universes, just with references popping in every so often. It's a major stretch, and to be honest, I don't think it will happen. Anything that happens in Kingdom Hearts is self-contained in Kingdom Hearts. I don't think we'll possibly have Neku in Neo The World Ends With You talking about his time in Traverse Town, right? Any character that appears in Kingdom Hearts from a different franchise, like Final Fantasy, is an alternate version of that character. So Cloud in Kingdom Hearts isn't the same Cloud that we see in Final Fantasy VII. Also too, I mean, Tetsuya Nomura time and time again has been asked about The World Ends With You connecting to that of Kingdom Hearts since the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. And each time he's been asked, he has confirmed, no, there is simply no connection. One thing you must know about Tetsuya Nomura is never take what he's saying at face value. The other thing too is whenever he's asked about this, he always suspiciously laughs afterwards. We did recently this year get confirmation once again that there is no connection. In an interview towards Neo The World Ends With You, coming out of Game Cult, he was asked about the connection between the two games, and Nomura said there is no connection between the two. The area scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Shibuya in Neo The World Ends With You are two completely different places. He's not really that sus in specifically this answer, but in another interview this year with GamePro, this is where it does get sus once again. It says right here, when asked if Neo The World Ends With You will include elements from Kingdom Hearts 3, Nomura, after a brief pause for thought, what are you doing, dude? You can't be doing these hesitant-based responses. This is driving fan bases crazy. Tersely and firmly replies, no, absolutely not. At the same time, his colleagues laugh. According to him, both Shibuyas are independent worlds. There was also the interview in the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania when he was asked about the connection, and he does again confirm that there is no connection, but laughs afterwards. I'm getting sick of the Nomura laugh thing. It just absolutely screams sarcasm or, haha, I'm up to something. I'm also very unsure about his response towards this. Like, he always says that the two locations, the Shibuya that we see in The World Ends With You and the Shibuya that Sora finds himself in Quadratum, they're two different places. I mean, yeah, okay, we get that, but that's not to say that there won't be some kind of TWEWY connection in Kingdom Hearts 3, more so having a self-contained version of Neku in the group, somewhere rolling around in Quadratum. His response kinda seems like it's always beating around the bush, and doesn't really outright confirm the fact that, no, The World Ends With You is not going to appear at some stage. I think it's most certainly still possible, and I do believe that the comment that Neku said in Dream Drop Distance, see you in Shibuya, isn't just some kind of throwaway comment. Like, Neku really could have said anything, but Nomura decided specifically for him to say see you in Shibuya when saying goodbye. Sora then following up with, it's a deal, just seals it for me, man. It just completely seals it for me. And also too, like, that cutscene is literally named see you in Shibuya. The reason why I wanted to yak about this is because, like, I love the idea of TWEWY and Kingdom Hearts crossing over, and I don't think it's something that really any of us kind of expected for DDD. It's always been Final Fantasy in the mix of Kingdom Hearts and amongst the Disney stuff. So to see another Square Enix franchise represented in Kingdom Hearts, I think is just, it's the bee's knees, man. It's fucking cool. I have a feeling that one day Kingdom Hearts will just end up turning into like Square Enix All-Stars. It'll be like the sort of Super Smash Bros, but for like Square Enix characters. I now know multiple fan bases are probably screaming internally. However, what I will say is I do think Tetsuya Nomura is up to something. He always is. It would definitely seem like a missed opportunity if, like, Sora is currently now in Shibuya, at least some version of which. It doesn't necessarily have to be at Neku's Shibuya, but he's in some kind of version of Shibuya, and with Neku saying the whole "see you in Shibuya" thing, it would really be a missed opportunity if at some stage the World Ends With You characters don't end up appearing. There could be some kind of cool story situation where after Joshua and the group, Neku and all them, end up leaving the Sleeping Worlds, the way back home gets all jumbled and mixed up and fuzzy, and they end up in a different version of their own home, that being Quadratum. Also, one other reach that I'm just gonna chuck out there real quick, there is a very, very suspicious looking billboard in Quadratum which says Crescent Next. I understand this is most likely just like some kind of clothing advertisement, but I don't know, man, with that purple and them legs look familiar. Not that I know Neku's legs that well, but them legs, the shoes, the purple. Okay, yeah, no, this one's probably a reach. That's just kind of my brain splat onto the situation so that I talk about the TWEWY Kingdom Hearts connection thing a little bit more further. So what is more apparent than ever though now is that, yeah, most certainly the Tokyo that Sora is in is definitely not the World Ends With You Tokyo. Again, not to say that TWEWY might not pop up at some stage. I would love to know what your guys' extended thoughts are on this situation, and also drop your thoughts on the whole sky thing on the cover arts. This has been lingering on my mind for quite some time. However guys, I'm Cynical, hopefully having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you dudes in the next one. Peace.